Hi, I'm Miles from Chorley Group Go EV, and today we're here to look at this, the Citroen e-C4, a new electric car from Citroen, built on the same platform as other Stellantis models. We're here to see what sets this vehicle apart and how it could work for you and your family. So first thing to say about the e-C4 is it's quite a bit bigger than the other electric cars we've seen from Vauxhall and Peugeot and Citroen so far. This one, it looks quite chunky. It's got these big bumpers. We've got LED headlamps here, and LED running lights sort of cutting through the front, giving quite a sort of an aggressive front end. We've got 18-inch alloys on this model, so it sits on quite chunky wheels. Overall, it has a feeling of robustness about the car. We've got these blue anodized design highlights around the front bumper and on the sides here, and it continues around the rear. So we've got this is exclusive to the electric model, so it just stands out, makes it look a little bit more individual. I quite like these big creases we've got running down the bodywork. Again, it makes it feel quite muscular, it makes it feel quite taut. And as we come around the back of the vehicle, we've got the charging flap here. So under here, we've got Type 2 and CCS ports. That gives up to 100 kilowatts on CCS. On Type 2, it'll do 7 kilowatts, or there is an option to go for an 11 kilowatt onboard charger. Word of warning though, that's only useful if you've got three-phase electric, which most properties in the UK don't have. So you're better off sticking with a 7 kilowatt charger as standard, really. Moving around the rear, LED lights again cutting in at angles. These sort of mock vents here, which give it a sort of aggressive stance. We've got this spoiler running across the back here. You'll notice there's no rear wash wipe on this. So instead we've got this sort of aerodynamic spoiler, which is supposed to hopefully help us with range. We'll see how that is when we get into the car, actually drive it. We've got electric opening tailgate, not powered on this model though. But under this boot, quite a decent amount of space. We've got all our camera equipment in here at the moment. There is a dual level boot, so underneath here we can keep our charging cables and so on. When we fold the seats down, that gives us a big cavernous area, plenty of room to put stuff in. But as you can see, yeah, plenty of space inside the boot for a family. So I think what we're next to do is take a look inside and see how they built the car. So on the inside of the e-C4, we've got a big sat-nav display which runs up the top here. That's very clear, a very high resolution screen. We've got dual zone climate control, so separate controls for both driver and passenger, and we've got heated seats in this model as well, with 3 levels of heating, so that's good to see. We've got a heated steering wheel as well, which is ideal on cooler weather. Electric windows, front and rear, electrically operated mirrors. We've got a heads-up display, so that's great. We can see the speed limit that we're driving through, so it's got camera here which recognises the road signs and brings that up onto the heads-up display. And you can see your cruise control speed and things on there as well. The only downside, I suppose, is that because we've got this screen here and this screen here, the actual driver's dash display is quite small. It's about 3.5 to 4 inches in diagonal, so it's quite a compact display. Having said that, it is easy to read. We've got quite clear numbers on there. By pressing the end of this stalk, we can cycle between different views. So you can simplify it to just have the speed, for example. Or you can put the trip meters on and so on. We've got speed adjusting cruise control. We've got auto wipers, auto lights, front and rear fog lights. Obviously hands-free's built in, as you'd expect on these cars. We've got Android Auto and Apple CarPlay built in. We've got a wireless phone charger down here, USB-A and USB-C ports for charging devices. We've got another little sort of ribbed storage area down here with a 12-volt socket with a little compartment underneath for keeping coins and so on. 2 cup holders under a roller slidey cover. And under here we've got a modestly sized, probably wouldn't fit, maybe a small water bottle would fit in that, but the door bins are quite a good size. You can probably fit a decent sort of 1/2 litre bottle of water in each of those. In terms of storage at the passenger side, we've got a glove box. If we press this button here, something's sliding out of here. So we've got a tablet case, and that... okay, so if you put an iPad or whatever in here, and then that can lock onto it. That's a good idea. So if you've got a child in the front, or perhaps a spouse like my wife has, which is she has to deal with a child on a regular basis, then you keep occupied on long trips. You can put a tablet in here. You've got a fixed mount. It's not going anywhere. That could be quite useful, actually. In fact, it might be useful for people who are using the car for business purposes, and they've got, whilst they're sat charging, they can be getting on with some work, doing some emails, that sort of thing. That's a dedicated mount. So, okay, and that's, we've got a little tablet stand, so we can take it out of the house and use it in that as well if we wish to. Okay, Citroen. Not quite lost your French flair and design aesthetic just yet. Come up with some strange ideas, but sometimes they work. Fair enough. Let's see what it's like in the back. So in the rear of the e-C4, well, as you can see, the driver's seat's set for me to be comfortable as a driver. I'm 5'11". I've got plenty of legroom here. Headroom, it's okay. My hair's a bit spiky, so it's brushing the top, but actually I can sit up okay. Headrest. We've got an armrest with some cup holders in the back here. We've got, my kids are like this, we've got USB-C and USB-A plugs here for charging the devices. We've also got some fans for them in the back, which is good. Electric windows, courtesy lights, LED up here. Well, certainly you can't complain about legroom. Your feet fit quite well under the seat in front, so there's plenty of foot space. And yeah, no, I reckon someone of my size at least would be comfortable for a good few hours on a road trip. So this is good. Middle rear seat. We have got a bit of a transmission tunnel. I think that's a hangover from the petrol or diesel versions. Right, yeah, no, if you're in the middle seat, you need to be a small child really, or you're going to be having to put your feet either side to give you enough foot space, because my feet just won't fit there at all. So yeah, middle seat for kids only really. But no, outer seat's fine. So for 4 adults, or for 3 kids in the back and 2 adults in the front, I think you're fine. This leather seats here with this quilting, quite nice on the Sense Plus model. Lower specifications have cloth, but still with the same foam, so they're still as comfortable, which is good. Okay, let's see how it is on the open road. So Citroen has taken its parent company Stellantis drivetrain, the 50 kilowatt hour battery that we've seen in the Vauxhall Corsa E and then Vauxhall Mokka E, the 100 kilowatt motor as used in those cars and also in the Peugeot E208, E2008. And it's come up with this, the Citroen e-C4. And in this version, it's a slightly bigger package than those other vehicles. It gives a bit more of a family car vibe. It's more interior space. Its acceleration's about 0 to 60 in 14 seconds, so the extra weight does give it a slight penalty over those lighter cars, but it feels sprightly enough. We've been keeping up with traffic, no problem whatsoever. Even in eco mode, we can turn it into normal or sport mode if we wish to. At the moment, we're getting around 4.6 miles per kilowatt hour. So we've just been driving here for 24 miles on little A roads and B roads, and the efficiency is very good. In fact, based on that, you'd be able to get over 200 miles on a single charge in this vehicle. Citroen claims about 204 miles range. If you take it on the motorway, you're probably going to see it drop down to about 180, but overall, a very, very good range for a very competitively priced vehicle. This vehicle sneaking just under the £32,000 government grant cap, so $34,995 on the road. Today we're going to take it on a long drive out and just see what we think of the vehicle overall. First things first, one thing that Citroen has always been renowned for is its innovation in suspension. When I was a kid growing up, my dad had a Citroen BX with hydroelastic suspension that could go up and down to alter the ride height however you wanted. This isn't quite as fancy as that, but this does have some special hydro cushions, they call it, which are basically built into the shock absorber and helps to remove some of the bounce, some of the crash out of the suspension. So it makes it a slightly more comfortable ride than perhaps you find in the Vauxhall or the Peugeot. Ah, the great British summer. Here we are in June, and today the weather is throwing everything it's got at us. We've got rain, we've had hail, we might see some sunshine at some point, which doesn't make it very easy to film videos like this. However, one of the benefits of the Citroen e-C4 is that it's got automatic windscreen wipers, which are coming in very useful at the moment. And it also, very helpful on the M6 at the moment, it's got speed adjusting cruise control. So based on the vehicle in front speeding up and slowing down, it's using radar and cameras to keep at a safe distance from the car in front. So that means that I can get away with talking to the camera from time to time, and the car is making sure that, despite the fact I can barely see the car in front through the spray, we're keeping a safe distance. One of the things that we'll also see is that the climate control's on. We're still getting a very good efficiency in the vehicle. We're currently at 4.5 miles per kilowatt hour. This car is built to take what nature can throw at it and what your family can throw at it as well. We've got a really good sized boot in the back. We've got plenty of space for rear passengers. We've got Isofix, of course, for the kid seats. And in this Shine Plus specification, which I'm in at the moment, we've got heated leather seats, we've got a heated steering wheel, which is ideal when, even in summer, the weather starts to throw hail at you. So we're really making the most of all of the features that this car has available to us, with air conditioning on and also a heated steering wheel. So the e-C4 has got a very good level of specification. This is the Shine Plus, this is the top specification, but even in the lower specs, we still have things like the heads-up display, Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. We've got dual zone climate control, and in this model we've got a wireless phone charger as well. So overall, technologically speaking, we've got a lot of kit on here. This centre screen, very, very clear, high resolution display. The Android Auto display doesn't fill the whole screen, so at either side we've got our climate control temperatures, which is, I'd probably prefer a widescreen view on the Android Auto, perhaps taking up the full display just to give a bit bigger mapping, but it is what it is. This centre, the interior design, we've got this sort of, at first I thought this was like a blue film that they hadn't taken off the chrome bits on the side, but actually no, this is a pattern. If you look closely, it's like sort of got a little hexagonal design on it, so it is intentional. The centre console easily laid out. We've got a drive mode selector, which is a single button press. We've got 3 drive modes. We've got Eco, Normal and Sport, and a single press between them. We've got a B mode, so when you're going down hills or when you're driving in traffic in town, if you select B mode, that means if you come off the accelerator, it's going to use regenerative braking to slow you down a bit stronger, make you stop a bit sooner. One thing I'm not too sure about, this display here in front of the driver, the dash display, very small screen. It's like 4 inches across. It's like a little small square. Nicely highlighted. It's got a couple of LED lights either side which sort of make it look a little bit bigger, but the actual information sort of crammed onto quite a small display. I suppose it's useful. You've got the heads-up display which shows you your current speed. It shows you the speed limit signs. In this case, it's showing me my cruise control, set speed, and also your distance to the vehicle in front. So that's clear, and that, it is nice to have the heads-up display. But on lower specification models, if they didn't have the head-up display, that is quite a small display. Really, there's not much going on. I suppose it's clear enough though. You can cycle through different views by pressing the end of this stalk here. So you can either simplify it so it's just the speed, or you can show things like, at the moment I've got it showing the trip meter on there. It's all where, you know, what you'd expect for this level of specification on a vehicle. It is, you know, it's all well put together. Some of these plastics are in the hard wearing category rather than comfort, but down here we've got some nice sort of soft, I want to say sort of pleather, sort of spongy sort of feeling fabric down here. The seats have got extra memory foam, so these have got like an extra 15 millimeters of high density foam in them compared to a normal car seat, which makes it quite a comfortable place to sit. It's not an electric seat though, it's just a manually operated seat for height and forwards and backwards and the backrest and everything. But the view out we've got is good. The only thing I'm not too sure about, when you look in the rear view mirror, the rear window has got this bar running along it, so it's got a split level glass on the tailgate, and like a sort of, the spoiler cuts across the middle of it, which makes it a little bit distracting in your rear view mirror. It's a bit like looking through the bars of a prison cell. But overall, the comfort's good. The spaciousness inside is very good. And in terms of drivability, it's the same drivetrain as we've seen in the Vauxhalls and Peugeots and etc. So, you know, it's a well-proven drivetrain. So things from a reliability point of view should be good there. Obviously we've got the 8-year, 100,000 mile warranty from Citroen as well on the drivetrain, so that means you've got peace of mind knowing that the battery and everything are certified for many years to come. On the motorway, cruise control on, a very, very comfortable, easy drive. The lane keeping is lane departure assistance rather than actual lane keeping, so you do have to keep your hands on the wheel, you do have to steer for yourself, but automatic cruise control, that works very well. We're keeping the distance very easily from the car in front. So the e-C4, same as its other Stellantis stablemates, has up to 100 kilowatt rapid charging available. So we've come to this MFG site on Crow Orchard Road to just test that theory. At the moment the batteries are at half full, so it's not optimal for starting a rapid charge, but we're still seeing over 60 kilowatts rapid speed. It is expected that when the battery is lower, particularly around sort of 20 to 30%, you will see up to sort of a 9900 kilowatts charge rate. So from 20% to 80%, you should be expecting on a compatible charger, that would happen in around half an hour. On a 50 kilowatt chargers, the lower power rapid chargers, you may see it take around 45 minutes. Well, it's been a really great experience to drive the e-C4 for the first time today. I think if you're in the market for a family-sized electric vehicle, one which represents good value for money but also gives decent range and has a high level of specification and standard, this definitely should be on your shopping list. If you'd like to take a test drive, if you contact our dealerships, we've got Citroen dealers now in Blackburn, Bolton and here in Skelmersdale. Thank you.